everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be crocheting the Easy Newborn Parker hat. So this hat is made for boys but can also be made for girls. There aren't a lot of crochet patterns out there for newborn boys, so I thought I'd make a simple, easy one great for beginners. So you're going to need an H 5mm hook and some worsted weight yarn. Here I have Sky Blue and Vanna's Choice. And you can find this pattern on my blog. This is a pattern that I've had for over a year now, and it's been very popular, but I've just now gotten around to filming a video tutorial for it. So I'll have the link in the description box below for that pattern, and there's also matching booties and diaper cover that go with it too. So we're going to start with the magic ring. So wrap the yarn around your fingers twice, insert your hook, and then pull that loop on the left under the loop on the right. Remove your fingers holding that loop in place. And then we're going to chain up 2, and you want to make sure to hold that magic ring and the tail in place. Don't let it slip out. So we've chained 2. Now we're going to work 11 double crochets into the ring itself. So 11 double crochets. Remember, double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. If you need help with the magic ring or chain stitch or double crochet or any of these basic stitches, you can consult my crochet beginner series over on my main channel page. There at the bottom there's a playlist, and it'll go over all of these stitches in individual videos that are nice and slow. But for anyone who has a basic grasp of the basic stitches, this pattern should be fairly simple and easy for you. This pattern is really easy to whip up quickly for hospital donations or a newborn gift for a baby shower or just really any baby occasion at all. It works up really quickly and is very simple and straightforward. So once we have 11 double crochets, we'll be finished with round 1. And if you can get through round 1, you can do the rest of the hat. It's very simple. Everything's really straightforward. So here we've got all of our double crochets, and we're going to pull the tail of the magic ring to tighten that up. So this is going to be the center top of our hat. We're working from the top down. So now we're going to slip stitch to join. So just insert your hook in the first stitch of the round, yarn over, pull through, and pull through to join. So that will join this round. We are going to join all of our rounds, and it will create a seam, but it's not very noticeable. Go ahead and chain up 2 to begin round 2. Now we're going to work 2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So here in the very first stitch, we have 1 double crochet, and then work 1 more double crochet into the exact same stitch. So you can see here that I'm going down into the same spot that I just worked, and I'm double crocheting again. So we can see here that there's 2 stitches in the first, and now we're going to work 2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So the first round should have 11 stitches, 11 double crochet, and then after we work all of round 2, we'll end up with 22 double crochet, 2 in each stitch all the way around. At this point, what we're doing is working a flat circle, and moving forward it will take the shape of a hat, but it will take a few rounds to get to the point where you can really see the shape of the hat happening. I do also want to mention that I do have a crochet baby booty and crochet diaper cover that match this set. It's called the Parker set. It's over on my blog. I'll have the link to that in the description box below as well. Very simple. It uses a lot of the same stitches that are here on the hat, so if you'd like to check that out, go right ahead. It will match perfectly. And then I also have a variation of this hat called the Pumpkin Parker hat. Very, very similar, but there is size adjustments for the same style hat in a lot of different sizes, all the way from newborn to adult. So if you need this style hat in a different size, please consult the Pumpkin Parker hat pattern, and I'll also have that listed below if you'd like to make a child size hat that's not newborn. So coming around here, you can see that we still have kind of a flat circle shape. That's exactly what we want at this point. 2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Now we've gotten all the way back around, so we're going to slip stitch to join once again. Now we're done with round 2. We can see how this is looking. Still make sure that that center is nice and tight. And we're going to begin round 3 by chaining up 2, 1 and 2. And in the first stitch, we're going to work 2 double crochet, just like we did in round 2. Should be very familiar. So 2 in the same stitch. And then we're going to double crochet in the next stitch, just 1 double crochet in the next. So here we can see that there's 2 in the first and 1 in the next, and we're just going to repeat that around. So now we'll do 2 in the next, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2 in the same stitch, and then in the next we'll just do 1 double crochet. So it's just 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around until you've reached the other side. So there we have 2 and 1, 2 and 1, and just go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and we'll be done with round 3. So now we finished up going all the way around. We're going to slip stitch to join. We will slip stitch all of our rounds. So there, round 3 is finished. So now moving on to round 4, we're going to chain up 2 as always, and then we're just going to work 2 double crochets in the first stitch. So 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And then now, much like with round 3, we're going to double crochet in the next, just 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And then in the following stitch, work another double crochet. So where we had round 3 was 2 stitches in the same, 1 in the next, 2 in the same, 1 in the next. Here we're doing 2 in the same, 1 in the next, 1 in the next. So the repetition here is 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, where round 3 was 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I hope that that makes sense. It's a little difficult to explain without sitting next to you and showing you, but this is as close as we can get until I find a way to clone myself and teach all of you in person. So here we're just working 2 double crochet in the same, and then 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and just repeating that all the way around. We should still have a bit of a flat circle kind of look here, still going to be flat and not taking the shape of a hat just yet. So here we are almost done with round 4. We just need to slip stitch to join. And if you've made it this far, you have done a lot of the hardest part of this hat, believe it or not. So we're done with round 4. We're going to chain up 2, and then from here on out we're just going to double crochet in each stitch around. 1 double crochet in each stitch, no longer increasing or working more than 1 stitch into the same spot. Just work 1 double crochet in each stitch around. And we're going to work in this style for rounds 5 through 8. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 will each get 1 double crochet in each stitch around. We'll slip stitch to join and we'll chain 2. So make sure that you have 4 rounds completed of double crocheting in each stitch around. Each of these rounds should have 44 stitches, and we're just going to keep continuing with that, and that will kind of start to create our hat shape. So if we fold this over, we can start to see how the top of the hat will look, and then from here it's just going to kind of work down from this arch in a straight way and kind of pull things into a semicircle shape and look a lot more like a hat. So go ahead and work your 4 rounds, rounds 5 through 8, of 1 double crochet in each stitch around, and you should have something like this. So we can see here that the hat is definitely taking shape. We can see where the little bit of a seam is from our slip stitch to join, but that's going to be at the back of the hat, and I promise you won't notice it. No one will know it's there except for you. So don't worry about it at all. So here's where we're going to start doing those ridges that were along the bottom of the hat. So here we are at round 9, and we're going to work a front post double crochet. Now the way that we do this is we yarn over and then we insert our hook behind and around the post of the double crochet from the row below. Now we're going to yarn over and pull up, making sure your hook doesn't get caught on that stitch. Make sure your tension is nice and loose here. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 to complete your double crochet. Now that is a front post double crochet. It should create this ridge. You're not stitching into the top of the stitch, but around the post. Now in the next stitch, we're going to work a double crochet, just a regular one, into the top of that stitch. And that is what's going to create kind of this ribbing. So this alternating front post and then regular double crochet. So in this next stitch, we're going to work another front post. Now make sure you're not working around this one that's below our regular double crochet. make sure you're working in around the next stitch, your front post. So again, insert your hook back and around the stitch, the bar of the double crochet, and then finish out your double crochet. So we can see here how this is starting to look. We have a ridge and a flat area and then another ridge. We're going to work a regular double crochet in the next stitch. Again, make sure that you're not working both your regular double crochet and your front post double crochet into the same spot. Make sure that your round 9 here still has 44 stitches, just like round 8, and you're alternating front post and regular double crochets. If you do need a more in-depth tutorial on front post double crochets, there are lots of good ones on YouTube. I do have one in my Crochet Beginner series, but there's lots of good instruction on that. But you can kind of see here how I'm going around the bar of the stitch or the body of the stitch instead of into the top of the stitch as you normally would. So go ahead and continue this all the way around for round 9. Once we get back to the end of the round, we have a couple of stitches left here. We've got one more front post double crochet, and then because of our multiples and the way that they're all lining up, we're going to slip stitch right after a front post double crochet. So our slip stitches should kind of look like a regular double crochet, and our chain 2 is going to lie flat. So here we can see how it's looking, and we can see this ribbing nice and defined. We can see here the other side as well. All of our ribbing is lying nice and pretty on the front of our hat. If your ribbing is lying on the inside of your hat, make sure that you're working a front post double crochet and not a back post double crochet. They are similar, but the only difference is the way that you insert your hook around the bar of the stitch or the body of the stitch. So just be sure that you are working the right, correct kind of front post or back post double crochet. I'm just doing one row of the ribbing here. If you wanted to do another row of ribbing to make this a little bit longer, you would just repeat round 9 again, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to my last and final round, round 10, and that is just going to be a round of single crochet to finish this off. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with the same color, and then if you wanted to add an accent color, I'll show you how to do that as well. So go ahead and chain 1, and then we're just going to single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and that's just going to kind of finish things off and give the whole hat a nice finished edge that looks really nice and professionally done. So we're just single crocheting in the top of each stitch, especially those front post double crochets. Make sure you're working in the top of the stitch itself, not around the bar of the double crochet. So just go ahead and single crochet all the way around, or if you'd like to do this last round in an accent color as I did, I will switch gears here and show you how to do the bottom in an accent color. But if you wanted to do it in the same color, you can kind of get a sense for how this is looking finished off all in one color. It is definitely a lot faster and a bit more of a yarn saver to go ahead and do it in the same color, but I love the trim of doing it in another color. Now the way that I do this is before I start round 10, here I have pulled back all the way to where I slip stitch to join. Now I'm going to add a new yarn color and use my magic color change method. So I'm tying the yarn onto the loosened up loop from the stitch, tie a knot, slide it around to the right side, insert your hook, and tighten that loop down. Now I'm going to drop my blue yarn and pick up my green. This is Radiant Lime, Vanna's Choice Radiant Lime is that lime green colorway. Go ahead and chain up 1, make sure that that blue yarn's out of the way, and then just go ahead and start single crocheting in each stitch all the way around, 1 single crochet in each stitch. And we're just going to work this whole round in the Radiant Lime, just single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And then this will be our last round. We're almost finished with this newborn hat. You could easily make this hat into a unisex or a gender reveal style hat with pink and blue or yellow and green. If you don't know the sex of the baby, kind of a fun way to nod to either one. So here I'm going to slip stitch to join, and then I've finished off my yarn. I'm going to yarn over and pull through to finish off. And then now I just need to weave my ends. So you can see here how the hat is looking all finished. We just have to weave our ends and then we will be all done with this newborn hat. This took me start to finish about maybe 25-30 minutes. Super quick, super easy, and that was even including film time and stopping to really show you the stitches slowly. If I was really cranking these out, I could do them in 20 minutes. So easy and so quick, and a great donation project. So I'll show you how I weave in my ends real quickly, just for some beginners out there. I thread my tapestry needle and I weave in and around the stitches, and I go back and forth at least 3 times. And what that's going to do is it's going to kind of lock things in really nicely. And I try to go through at least 3 or 4 stitches when I go back and forth. And weave over an area that you've already weaved as well. I come one way, back the other way, and then the last time I try to pass through an area that I've already passed through. And what that's going to do is just kind of really keep things from slipping undone. So go ahead and trim that yarn. You can go ahead and weave these ends as well. Trim that yarn, and then we have our one tail from the beginning, of course. And once you've done all of that, you are finished, and you have a Parker newborn hat perfectly done and ready for a sweet little baby. I hope you guys enjoyed this baby tutorial. Please let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see more baby tutorials in the future on my channel, and be sure to click the subscribe button below if you haven't already for more fun, crafty crochet tutorials. Also, make sure to hit that like button if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, and happy new baby!